Good days.
Oh, we're live. How are we doing, guys? Oh, this ain't gonna work, is it? Oh. Bear with me 2 seconds. Let's see if we can get ourselves sorted out and set up. How does it take the camera through? What's this? How are we doing? Hope we're all doing well. Hope no one's come down with allergies like me and Russ have the last few weeks.
I just listen to the music on my mind.
It sounded like Russ singing then.
My work is over for the day.
What is going on with this?
Something to help me unwind. And the music is the music of my mind. Yes, the music is the music of my mind. Oh, hello there. Hello. Have we got the notification?
No, I'll never get notification.
Of course we don't. Hello, Mr. Downs.
Joe.
What is this? Oh, we're on Facebook. So we should be all good. Right, I think we're connected that way. Hello, everybody. We're just waiting for Philip to hand over. And once we do that, we'll go live. But my mouse has just broke on my computer. My chair's broke. I can't. The gas has gone in the chair, so I keep sinking. I might have to have a. Right.
So it's all going well then.
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic. Right. So let's do that. My mouse is broke, so I can't get into that. It's now time for you to sit back, chill, and relax. Let your mind into the deepest, darkest parts of your brain. Let Russ take you on a journey through the unexplained. Good evening, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wherever you want to be called from around the world. Welcome to Pulse Talk Radio and welcome to Journey Through the Unexplained. I want to say a massive thank you to Philip Solomon that has taken us through the last hour over on Pulse Talk Radio. I hope you are well, Philip. Thank you for the build-up. And we do apologise. We haven't been on for the last couple of weeks just due to illness. I got struck down the first week with a really horrible chest infection. What it was, I don't know. I don't think I felt so rough in all my life. And I've had COVID a few times and it still never got anywhere. If I put them all together, I don't think. And then last week, Paul got struck down by the same sort of living thing. So we seem a little bit better. So good evening, Mr. Paranormal Paul.
Good evening. Are you feeling better? I'm feeling better.
I am feeling better. I am feeling better. I have to say I am feeling better, but it took me a long time to make myself feel better. I don't think I've ever, and I mean ever, literally, the morning I drove to work, the Tuesday morning, drove to work to stop. I was sick on the side of the road, and I got home and I got into bed, and I never got out of bed to Saturday evening.
Oh, blimey.
That's how it made me feel.
Wow.
I didn't have, and not to say that I had a cough or anything like that. Yes, I had a cough, I had a sniffles and everything like that. But it wasn't a cough that would keep you up in the middle of the night. But I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
I wasn't tired. I didn't even sleep during the day. It was really odd, really, really bizarre.
Yeah, usually it knocks you out, doesn't it? You can just, that's all you can do.
Yeah. But this one, no, it didn't. I didn't have anything really to keep me up. Yeah, I had sort of like a don't do that. But yeah, just really weird, really bizarre. Couldn't tell you what it was. Just didn't know. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? I really don't know.
Oh, I feel lucky now. I didn't know, I wasn't as bad as that. I was all right. I was at work Wednesday. I got a niggling in my throat. You know, when you start getting that swallowing glass.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, no. And I booked the Thursday, Friday and Monday off work. I was doing my bathroom. And that was the only time I had off to do it. So I thought, I've got to crack on and do it. And Thursday, I sort of scraped through. I didn't feel too bad, but you know, when you just can't get your brain into focus. And I just sort of ploughed through and worked through Thursday and Friday. And it seemed to catch up with me Saturday. I thought, right, because we was meant to go ghost hunt Saturday night. So I thought, right, I'm not going to do the bathroom today. I had to pop into Lakeside to get a few bits with the missus. And by the time I come back, there was nothing left of me. I just had no energy whatsoever, like, you know, and I just felt so blur. All I wanted to do was just sit on my sofa and just stay there. And that's what I ended up doing. It just wiped me out. And I think it's because I overdone it when I was feeling sort of a bit ill, you know what I mean? Rather than just rest up and let it do its thing.
I couldn't tell you. I generally could not tell you how it made me feel. It really made me feel iffy. Like nothing. I couldn't give, you know. And from my bedroom to my toilet, what, 6-7 foot? Maybe a bit more, 10 foot at a push. I just couldn't get there. My legs were like jelly, you know, horrible. But hey ho, we're back to the land of the living. We're back to doing what we love best. So welcome everybody to the show. We've got obviously Joe in the chat. We've got Heidi in the chat. Good evening, guys and girls. Don't forget to share the live, follow the live, whatever we need to do. We haven't really got a plan of action tonight of what we're going to talk about. Do we ever? Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But Paul, just before we come on air, Paul made a suggestion of a little follow-on, really, to what we was talking about with Heidi, a fantastic interview we did with Heidi a few weeks ago, which people absolutely loved. So thank you, Heidi. I know she's in the chat. She's there with us tonight. So hopefully this will sort of lead on and answer a few questions. So, Paul, I'm just going to hand over to you. Because you know what you're sort of talking about. I think I've watched these, but I don't know. But you might enlighten me a little bit more.
Yeah, well, it's just kind of carrying on. I sort of lightly brushed against it with Heidi towards the end of the show. But after the way Heidi explained how she felt, I think she's got a kind of a different view of it than what the way I was trying to get across, you know. And you know when you can remember something in your head, but you can't remember it enough to explain it. That's kind of where I was, and I'm still kind of there now. to be fair, but I did find a couple of videos that I mentioned on the show, excuse me, that I sent over to you that might be able to explain it a bit better, in the way that when I was trying to say, like, you know, with the alien side of things and the God, and if we was created from aliens, was we a part of God? And one of the things I was trying, you know, when I said about the 33 vertebrae in your spine and the number 33, the Masonic number, and the 3 and the, you know, 3, well, 3 and 3, if that makes sense, are all kind of a biblical number, aren't they? And you know, the three, the Trinities, you know, Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, and all that. And it kind of reminded me of that saying, which I couldn't remember all of it, but I got it this time, and it said, "The kingdom of God is inside you," and that was the main part that I was going for. "And all around you, not in a mansion of wood and stone. Split a piece of wood, and I am there. Lift a stone, and you will find me." Now, I know that's kind of the second part of that is God is everywhere. But it was the first part that I was trying kind of referencing to. The kingdom of God is inside of you. And that's what got me saying about, I think the video would explain it better if we can play it at all. But, you know, the numbers of the 33 and the way the body works. And when I sort of think about Jesus as a person, if what his teachings were, he was either very in tune spiritually about all of nature and how mankind is, you know, or is that just how we've interpreted what he was saying? But it's kind of, it's very bizarre the way it all sort of connects in my head. You know what I mean? Can we play a part of that video, Russ, at all?
What
That sort
you
of
want to play?
explains it a bit better than me.
You need to play them in the way that you've sent them over to me, yeah?
Yeah, I'd say start with the first one, and
Yeah.
then the other one might go a bit deeper.
Right, okay, we're going to play that right this minute. So, let's see how this works. I have to remember how to do this. So, let's see.
Died at 33 years old. You have 33 vertebrae within your spine. That goes up and down your spine.
I'm going to restart the video. Hold on, guys.
When it hits,
Yeah, it's very low.
died at 33 years old. You have 33 vertebrae within your spine. There's an oil called Christos that goes up and down your spine about every 28 days. When it hits a nerve called the vagus nerve, which looks like a cross, it dies for about 2.5 days and it resurrects 3 days. Very similar to the story of Christ Jesus. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because I think this is very important. I believe in Jesus Christ in my heart of hearts. I believe Jesus walked on this earth and was one of the greatest leaders that we could ever experience. I also believe that he was teaching us an internal process within our own body that happens every 28 days that can awaken humanity to who they truly, truly are.
So, very interesting video there because it was quite simple, straightforward. Good evening, Jane. Welcome to the show. Thank you for locking in. So, it's virtually what it's saying is Jesus died at 33.
Yes.
We've got 33 vertebrae, and it gets to a cross.
At the top where it lasts, it goes for 28 days up and down your spine, and when it ascends back to the top, it hits that thing called the cross, the shape of the cross. It then stops for 2.5 days, and on the third day it resurrects and starts its journey again, which is what he's saying, you know, the resurrection of Christ 3 days after he was crucified. It all sort of links in. I just found that always stuck with me, that sort of.
So I get it, and you know we do get. I get what you're saying, and I see how it all works. Evening, Steve. Nice to see you back. Haven't seen this name for a long time. Welcome. So how do you see that with the human body and linking that to Jesus?
Well, this is where, I mean, I kind of agree with what he was saying. You know, I do believe Jesus was a real person. I think we all know he was a real person. I think what a lot of people question was he really the Son of God and things like that. But for me, like he said, he either knew, or, you know, that sort of ultimate knowledge of how the human body worked. I mean, back then, no one would have known about this, surely. I mean, we say that we talk about, you know, ancient civilizations that were far superior to us with the technologies and things they could do. So maybe it was about then. We've just forgotten about it. You know, the spiritual side of things and how everything's linked and the circle of life. And, you know, it's interesting, the 28 days, you know, because there used to be 13 months of 28 days and then you'd have your day of rest at the end of the year, which obviously wasn't January. I think it was March, wasn't it? The actual start of a new year. And again, it goes back to the 13 months, the 13 rings on the tortoise shell. You know, everything seems to link with old knowledge. And like I say, the other video I sent about the Masonic number 33, it kind of.
So
it just,
what are you?
sorry.
I can't quite get what you're saying, and you know, I'm not here to try and push and pull us apart. That's what I'm not trying to do. I don't get, and I think Joe's trying to. So Joe
So
Blunt,
what are you making, Paul? Yeah. So
yeah. But the Lord led me here tonight, brother. God bless.
Yeah. To me, I don't know. It just makes sense to me that this was telling us what, you know, like I said in that, the kingdom of God is inside you. Effectively, the way my brain works is I'm saying, like, you know, we are all God to a certain aspect. You know, when I know I've said this before, when we say, but everyone's on their own journey, right? So everything, some people look at it, everything in this world is there for me at the moment. Everything that I come across, everyone I meet, everyone I speak to is put in this world for me. Because if I didn't meet that person, my life might not have ended up the way it has ended up now. Is that because that person's life, or is it because of my life? I was meant to take that journey. I'm really trying to explain this. I don't know how it's working in my head, but I'm trying to get it across in a way that people understand. That we are our own creation and we create everything around us.
Yeah, I see that. I know. Yeah, I feel I sense that.
And so, if your intention is clear and how you want your life to be mapped out, and you know the 10 commandments, things to stay away from, things that will lead you away from that path. If you try and stay true and just for yourself, you will always take the right path to where you're meant to go. Do you know what I mean? So it all kind of links into that's what I'm trying to say. Everything links in. And if you get your head right, when people are on the right, correct spiritual journey, they'll do it with ease. And when Heidi was saying she truly believes that God, her angels, her aliens, spiritual guides, they're all there guiding her in the right path because she's using them in that right way.
So I get that. And Joe said you're talking about divine order.
Right.
Which I get. But as a debate show here.
Yes.
Where's the 33 come into that?
No, but the 33 to me is explaining that. To me, that's what triggered in my head that kind of made it all interlinked with each other. Because when people say I'm on a spiritual journey, I'm on this, I'm on that, God is within you, this and that. To me, that was the link that connected the biblical story of Jesus. Did he put himself in that? Jesus was a real person. Did everything happen the way it was said to have happened? I believe so. So did he put himself in that order of things to happen in another way to help people explain how everything works?
Yes.
Yeah,
I can
am I
see,
making sense?
I can see that, but I still can't link the 33 to that. I can't link that video, which I think is quite amazing. How, you know, Jesus died at 33. There's 33 vertebrae. We've got this spinal fluid that goes up and down for 28 days, dies and re-erects itself and starts
But
its
it was
journey.
also the name that they call that liquid, Christine,
Yes, yeah.
Christine. You know, it's all linking in.
But so that would say to me, then we are children of Christ Jesus, which so-called we are, yeah. Now, is this something totally different? Is what we're saying? Are, you know, as every human got that in their body, or is what we call in the Jesus bloodline? You know this.
No,
You know, when
I'm
we go
saying
along the
everyone.
Masonic side of things,
So
because
everyone.
it could just, I know this sounds stupid and I hate doing this, but it could just be coincidence that we've got 33
100%.
you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I'm not saying that I'm you know, this is the truth and everyone should believe it. I'm not saying it like that, but I'm saying that resonated with me to the fact that it kind of made me make sense of it. Now, just because if no one else can, that's fine, that's fair enough. But for me, it was just clarity for me, you know. And I thought I've got to share that.
I think you're trying to say that people and events are put in places to direct us in certain directions.
Yes, yes, and no. So I suppose what I'm trying to say without upsetting people, I don't believe in. I believe there's a higher power. Like we've said before, I don't really believe in the biblical God that, you know, on this day he created the earth and the next day he created man and this and that. I don't believe it worked like that. When I say that we are all part of God, we are all God, is something started this journey, this creation, whatever it is. But we are all the legacy, as in we've all got God in us. We are all God in that sense. And
I get it. I do. I sort of.
the Son of God is within us. It's the 33, the journey. It goes up, the 28 days, the 2.5 days rest, the resurrection. We're reliving the story of the Bible every month, you know, it's stopping and starting the whole time.
I do get it. I do sort of get it, but I just don't see if I can get it just at this moment in time.
The way I'm trying to put it across.
Yeah. See, for me, that video is for sort of telling me that the person or the creator of us had sense of how this was going to work in this life. Not in my life, but the journey of life. So to me, it does feel very Da Vinci Code-esque.
Yeah.
It does feel like it's a cryptid clue. Like this creator, if you believe it's God or an alien or whatever you feel that created this, our human species, had the Bible or the journey book that we, my strong belief is the Bible is the journey book that some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't. But you have to dig deep to find your clues and your journeys within that. You know, I'm not saying everything in the Bible's tosh. I'm not.
No.
I'm saying there's certain things there that are very, very poignant to Journey's life, of how they want us to go.
Mm.
And I think that that's their nod or tip of the hat to the 33, obviously, the Jesus' day, you know, and it's a way of putting it to us as the people of there is a bit of this God in you, because we've designed you with 33 vertebrae, we've put the cross on your back, we've made this Christo or whatever it was called, and every 28 days it dies and it gets resurrected, just like this character, this, you know, figure of statue in the Bible did. To once again, someone has dug deep to find that clue. Does that make sense? Does it make sense in what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but that's this sort of knowledge, so to say. It's not a new thing. It's so. This is what I'm saying. Apparently, it's been known for quite a while. It's just been suppressed, like a lot of things. You know,
Yeah.
they don't want people to know truly where they come from, where they live, what's around, and what actually goes on. They try. I think they try, and I think it's fairly miserable at the moment. They're stopping people awakening and realizing their spiritual potential.
Yeah, but I think that's, you know, I do, once again, like we spoke about the biblical sense, you know, there is certain chapters or without, you know, the chapters that have been removed, what is in them chapters that is so different that they've had to remove them? Why can't the people see them? You know, why have they had to remove them? So that's why I say, you know, yes, I do believe in the Bible. I do think, but I think the things in there at the moment, we are, you know, the Bible that is put in front of us at the moment is very cryptid, because I think if it isn't cryptid, we have a chance of losing it. You know, we are told within the Bible that the giants walked this land. You know, there is certain things I do believe in the book of Revelations that do tell us about extraterrestrials. Now, I think the things that have been taken out of the Bible that we know is, you know, potentially that, you know, how the pyramids were born, how this planet was born, how we as humans are evolved. Do I think we come from gorilla and monkey? No, I do not. No God's green earth do I. So I think that's all in these Bibles, but taken away to control in some way, shape, or form. Let's go through some comments, because we've got quite a few comments coming. The number 33 symbolizes divine fullness and perfection, associated with the Holy Trinity, the you know, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. You touched on that, didn't you, at the beginning? Everyone here tonight has a choice, believe it or not. The narrow gate, the wide gate. Without upsetting anyone, I think the church is control. We are the church, so we need to attend a building. Some of the Bible is helpful to get us through our journey, and some of it is fear mongering. I sort of agree with that. Palms are very helpful, but the concept of heaven and hell is nonsense and isn't reality of the universe. Well, we won't know that till we get there, will we?
Yeah.
It's also magnificent cryptid message of our hidden history. The history of our planets has been a lie. I sort of tend to agree with that, Joe. That's sort of where I think I stand with it. And And that's why I think I have to, the 33 side of it, and with that video, I do tend to feel that that is a tip to the hat of the creator that created us humans. Whatever that may be, if it's Jesus or, you know, if it is, you know, we may never find out. Jackie has put, even Jackie, Walking with Jesus, Dolores Cannon is a good book to read. If it's on audiobook, then I'll give it a go. But yeah, I sort of get where you're coming from, Paul, in it all.
Yeah, I probably didn't. Again, I know what I'm meant to say in my head, but trying to get it out the way I'm making sense of it is harder than it should be.
I don't think it's that easy.
No.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that easy, because I think that's deeper. That message there that we've just listened to is a lot deeper than I think at this moment in time any of our brains can comprehend. Because I think it's more than I'm thinking. But how I fit that in is totally different. You know, I really think it's, I'm with you on audiobook. I can listen to it in the car. It's just a lot easier, isn't it? Someone reading it to me. But I know that people out there and that will, you know, live their life by the Bible. That's not wrong. If you choose to do that, choose to do that. You know, it's not, I'm not here to judge you as a person. You know, if we was here to judge people, you know, that's bigger than anybody. Who's got the right to judge us? You know, I do generally feel there is a judging process when we do die. What that is, I don't know. But I don't think it's spirit that is the thing being judged. I think our soul gets judged. I'm a strong believer that the soul and spirit are two different things, and I think our soul gets judged. I think the soul has the judge of what happens next to that soul. The spirit will just live on, and that's when we talk to our loved ones and that in spirit, and you know, when we go for readings and blah blah blah. But the spirit can be reborn again, and I think that is where the soul is judged, and that doesn't have anything to do with our spirit, in my opinion. So when it does come to judging what is judged, I think that is it for me. And maybe that creator or the 33 within us, somewhere, something, has a part to play on that.
Well, do you mean in the way of, when you say being judged, do you mean like in resurrection terms? You know, if you didn't fulfill your potential in life, then you're reincarnated, to go again and see if you can fulfill your potential this time.
Potentially, yes. Potentially. Loosely, yes. But I do think there is the difference for me, right? See how I see it. We have soul, we have spirit. Okay? We are both made up by that. You know, when we get deja vu, we've been here before, but we've never walked there before, ever. You know you've never been there, but you know you've been there. I think that is when your soul gets mixed up with spirit. Just an overlapping concentration, and they just meet at that time. And harshly as this sounds, I don't think the soul gives a flying hoot about us and our spirit. It's there to learn. What that is, process of learning is unknown to me. I couldn't tell you what my soul is here to learn, because it's just doing it. Once it's fulfilled what it's needed to fulfill, it leaves. We die. Spirit, what we live, me, you talking to you, you talking to me, the journeys that we are experiencing this day in life will continue to go on because we can talk to our loved ones. We can, you know, this is just a vessel. In my opinion, this is just a vessel to nothing. When we die, this disappears, but what's inside doesn't. It continues. Hence why we can talk to our loved ones in spirit. Because we don't see them doesn't mean we can't talk to them. But our soul will detach from the vessel, and that will then go to be judged. Now, whatever that process being, for, you know, for all intents and purposes, you go to the pearly gates, someone meets you there and says, do you fulfill, you've done everything you can do for this soul? Yeah, well, you haven't. You're going to be reborn again. Thank you. Go in that queue. You know, very simply. Now, that may be something along the lines of, we're on this planet, you know, we're on this, my journey, my soul's on this journey to learn love or learn hate, you know. And that's why I'm very stringent when it comes to what we define as spirit with demon. I believe that there's only two real types of energies that exist, which would be spirit, which is us, and we've got people who have touched the earth plane, which is us, and then we've got energies that haven't touched this earth plane, which would fall inside with, you know, the demonic side of things, if you look at it like that. But I think it's a little bit more harsher than that. So anything that has touched this earth plane, that could be murderers, paedophiles, anything like that, it still lived. So that person, rightly or wrongly, what I say, who has killed, the soul needed to learn hate, evil. So it's only been there to learn that rule of thumb, to live that life. But that soul may be reborn again in someone that is pure love, to learn the difference, the yin and the yang. And when people die young, from very young to middle, they've actually probably lived more life than we ever have, because that soul has done its job. It's done it. It's finished. It's needed to do what it's needed to do. It's fulfilled a life in a short amount of time. So when people lose their life to youngness, for whatever being, I always see it as, and I look at it as a positive, as that person has lived more life than I will ever witness at this moment in time, because it's crammed its purpose in so tightly, it's ticked a lot of boxes. So that's how I see, you know, where that goes. So the spirit, the judging, I know we've gone a little bit off kilter here, but
yeah, I know. I'll get what you're saying. That's quite an interesting way of putting it. I mean, I've never really thought of it like that. I don't believe it's in every case. You know, when some young people pass,
no,
they're taken. You know, and you hear these, like I said, reincarnation stories where these young people were born. There was that story of the little girl who said, I lived in that village over there and I was murdered by my neighbour and I was buried here. And when she grew up a bit, she kept banging on the same story. And the police eventually went and investigated. They dug up the tree where she said she was buried in the previous life, where she was a man in the previous life. And the way she died was an axe in the back. And they found the remains of a bone with an axe in the back, still underneath the tree. So, I mean, things like that. She didn't fulfill her potential in her previous life, so she's got reincarnated to live it again. Only somehow the memories of a past life have slipped through with her.
yeah, I get it. I do. I like it. I like it. I've got a text message coming for you, Paul. Don't quite understand it, but you might. But my nan wants to congratulate you, Paul. He has done well. So congratulations, Paul. My nan wants to congratulate you, Paul. He's done well. So obviously you've explained something that my nan understands. Okay. I'm assuming that you know. So,
but you're welcome. I'm glad someone understood.
You can explain it to me later on.
Yeah.
I believe we judge ourselves when we grow up, unless we have been real bad, then we are dissipated, i.e. Hitler, e.g. Hitler. Yeah, I do think we can judge ourselves. I do think we have that sort of ability to do that and how we want to. But I still think the soul has a real push to where we go in our journey and how that works. So, but it's deep in my eyes, you know. But that's how I keep, when I do my spiritual work, I try and keep it as simplistic as possible. So I know when we talk, you know, when we watch all these ghost hunting programs, we can talk about elementals, the fae, the things like that. And, you know, yeah, I do think they all exist. But when it comes, I just think they're different energies of different beings. I don't think they're linked, me personally, linked to the spirit world or the demonic world. I just think they're a different energy, i.e. an alien form. You know, when we talk about the fae, you know, in the gardens, the fae, you know, the little things, you know, the fairies and things like that. To me, that is just another form of alien. You know, that's just how I see it. When we talk about elementals, and when we talk about, you know, fire people and water people and wind people and this, you know, the elements of the earth. Once again, I just see that as another potential alien that we don't understand, that's come from a different planet, you know, and can walk amongst us at some point. That's just how I see that. Other people may not, but it's my opinion. With my spiritual work, I keep it short and don't let my thoughts go outside the box.
Yeah.
And I think
well, I suppose it can only confuse you or the person you're trying to give the message to. If you're not got that straight line of sight in your own head, how are you meant to put it across to someone and get them to understand it? Which is a bit like what I'm like, because I don't know, so I go with my gut, and I've got a slightly different take on it with you, with the elementals and things like that. I believe, you know, it's the Earth's energies. It's everything is energy and frequency, and we're just, when you tap into it and when you don't tap into it, and things like that.
I totally agree with you. I can't not sit here and disagree with that, Paul, because I can't. I do generally do feel that, you know, that is the frequency you have to find spiritually to be able to talk to these so-called elementals, fae, and things like that, fairies, and, you know, I think you have to find that frequency. And maybe that's what the 33 does allow you to do. Maybe the God gene that works within us gives us that ability to change the frequency. What's to say that this Kriya, whatever this fluid that goes, I don't like you both agreeing. But what's to say that this stuff that's going up and down inside of us, you know, the 33 vertebrae inside us, doesn't give us this ability to communicate with other earthly and unearthly things? Maybe that's what gives us the ability to do what we like. Maybe that gives me the ability to talk to the so-called spirits. Maybe when Heidi sees these extraterrestrials about in full eyes, maybe that is at a certain frequency that this creosote, or a certain position where that is flowing. Maybe it's at the point of it's heightened when it's regenerating. I don't know. Maybe this 33 that linking, you know, what's in us gives us this, and we're all in this chat together because we all want to, not all want, but we all believe in something else, but no one knows what that else is.
No, we can have our opinions and we can speculate, but
Yeah.
for 100% sure, no. And I think this is why I struggle sometimes to get it across, because something in all that what we was going on at the beginning of the show just clicks with me. I kind of make sense of it in here, but to get that sense out of there and across to everyone else in the way that they explain it, the way I've just made sense of it, it's hard to do.
Yeah, but as I say, there is no wrong or right, is there, to it? Because we can't prove it or disprove it.
No.
You know, as much as this will aggravate Joe and he'll bite straight back. So, like, you know, we can't prove Earth is flat or round at this moment in time.
No.
We can't. Because we as humans, as me, haven't been up there to have a look.
No,
and
you're relying on someone else's experience.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. And we can listen to the science, whatever you want, but I still think there's a lot of science out there that's an absolute load of tosh.
Yeah, and the science is not settled. You know, you've got good science on both sides, but you've got bad science on both sides. So
that's you know, that's it. Yeah. We reeled him in. I've caught the big fish. but until we go up there, until we go up there and physically look ourselves with our own eyes, and I'm not talking about the pictures coming back, my own eyes, then I will make a decision. Yeah. Do I think the Earth is flat? No, I don't. I can't even let my mind wander there. But there's some things that make sense about it being flat. And I do think that may be within the sort of round and side. But we're going off of a kilter. But this is what I'm saying. Until I can, don't get me started on flat Earth deal. Two of them are going to have a fight with. But it's what I don't, until I see it, which I, you know, unless I win the lottery and can make good friends with Musk and Bezos and Richard Branson, then they only go in lower orbit anyway, don't they? So, you know,
yeah, but
that even proved me right or wrong.
The International Space Station isn't that far. Well, that's still in lower Earth orbit.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you've only got to go near it where the gravity starts to take effect, or the zero gravity, then you should be able to see that curve.
Who knows, eh? But let's not go on that tonight. Let's go on that tonight. Right. So do you want me to play the other video?
Yeah, go for it. I can't remember what was on it now, so it'll refresh my memory.
It's a little bit longer. No, that's that. That's that. Right, I'm going to mute me. Turn you up.
Masons choose the 33rd degree as the highest level a Mason can attain. Is there significance with the number 33? Watch until the end to discover the meaning of this number. There's hidden mysteries in the numbers, secret societies, philosophers and artists alike, weaved into their creations. So why 33? This number has been a focal point in various cultures, religions, and philosophies, each attributing unique significance to it. In the secretive world of Freemasonry, reaching the 33rd degree is a high honor, symbolizing a deep understanding of spiritual truths. To obtain this rank, it is necessary to work up the ranks towards enlightenment and wisdom. The number 33 is not only a significant marker in this covert society, but it also resonates through the spine of human biology, literally. Our spines are composed of 33 vertebrae, each one echoing the structural integrity of the 33 steps of Jacob's ladder, connecting earth to heaven in biblical lore. This connection symbolizes the journey of the soul towards divine enlightenment. The mystical energy of Kundalini in yoga traditions speaks of awakening through the spine, culminating at the 33rd step, where enlightenment awaits, the pineal gland, the seat of DMT. This journey through the chakras is seen as a path to ultimate spiritual awakening and self-realization. So where else has 33 popped up along the way? Tesla is said to have been obsessed with the number 3. Apparently, he would only stay in hotel rooms with a number divisible by 3. In the last 10 years of his life, he stayed in the same suite of a hotel on the 33rd floor. Coincidence? But the intrigue doesn't stop there. The number 33 continues to appear in various religious and spiritual contexts, each time adding to its profound significance. Jesus was crucified at the age of 33, marking his age not just as a number, but a symbol of ultimate sacrifice and spiritual fulfillment. Turning to the East, in Vedic religion, 33 gods stand guard over the world, representing various aspects of existence and the cosmos. These deities are seen as the protectors and sustainers of the universe, each embodying different facets of life and nature. This isn't just coincidence, it's a pattern that is echoed through ages and civilizations, suggesting that 33 might just be a master number holding secrets to the universe itself. After all, 33 is considered the master teacher, otherwise known as the master influencer. So now we start to see the relevance to the 33rd degree of the Masonics' teachings. Throughout history, many influential individuals have held the prestigious title of a 33rd degree Mason. These notable figures have had a hand in various areas of our lives, such as politics, philosophy, law, and entertainment. From Mozart, Sir Winston Churchill, George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, Mark Twain, and Henry Ford, to J. Edgar Hoover and President Truman. All of these influential figures were 33rd degree Masons. They held a mysterious knowledge that assisted them in rising the ranks in society through their boys' club, all whilst keeping the secret wisdom under great lock and key. So the question remains, what is this secret knowledge and why is it so guarded? What do you think? Follow for more mind-opening links to secret patterns.
That delves deeper, doesn't it? That I just think explains maybe what we were going there, as it's a very spiritual number in some way. And I can't help it. Joe, are you a Freemason, Paul?
No.
The old funny handshakes, didn't you? So I do get it. Does that make sense? That I do feel that this 3, the number 3, the number 3, right? And I don't know if you saw me jotting down as we was right there when it said Tesla and the number 3, right?
Yeah.
And talking about spirit and things like that, I had someone in my right hand ear, said, "Look at the song. 3 is the magic number." And that's all that was said in my ear as I was listening to that. So I have to 3 is the magic number. I don't quite know what lyrics are within that. I don't know if there's anything that I have to look at. So I'm assuming that this 3, if we're looking at Tesla, that, you know, strongly went against the grain, didn't he? You know, they didn't like him. So they
he also spent his life studying the pyramids.
I wonder if there's any, you know, anything to do with 3s. Joe's pretty good with the pyramids. Joe, is there any 3s that are linked to the pyramids? Any 3 numbers or
Well,
degrees?
There's 3 of us.
Yeah, there's definitely 3 pyramids. So to me, that there has to be something in this 3. I've written that the 3 or the 33 or the 333, whatever you want to say, you know, because I know we've spoke about it. The 333, 333 is definitely, you know, the angel number. So we're linking that. We've got Tesla there, the 33 degrees Masons, and quite well-renowned leaders there. Probably the big wigs there. You know, didn't they say Benjamin Franklin was there? I don't know if they said, did they say what was the founding father? Was it Abraham Lincoln? They said he was a Mason, didn't they?
Yeah. Was it Churchill, Truman?
Churchill. So, yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting because I'm not quite sure where I stand with Masonry and the Masons. I can't. I'm not saying the modern day Mason. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, I'm not saying the modern day Mason. That's not what I'm saying when I say what I'm going to say. But I think when we look back at it, because obviously we're associating Masons with obviously the Knights Templar and things like that, it all stemmed from it. And I do believe that, you know, the Masons now do a lot of good for a lot of people, the charity work they do without recognition and not want recognition. I get all that. I think if you go back deeper than that, and it said, what are they protecting? That video said, what are they protecting? And I know you didn't see the video, guys, but as it was saying, that there was nothing really towards the video that you needed to see. It had no sort of, it was just pictures floating around of people's faces. It had no sense of what they were talking about, but it did when it said, what are they protecting? And a key was floating around. And I thought, that's just weird. That to me is weird, because that makes more sense to me as, what are they hiding? Not necessarily hiding, but they could be protecting. What is it? Are these Freemasons, or the deep Freemasons? You know, we're not talking about the ones that do all the good and everything like that, but we're talking about, I do think, like Prince Charles. You know, I should say Prince Charles. It's King Charles, isn't it? People like him that are really sort of in there. And I think he's probably a 33-degree Mason, or whatever they're saying it is. They know more than probably the ones that you see meeting every week, if that makes sense. Does you see where I'm going with it? The higher power that you have as a Mason, you know, the likes of me can become a Mason. Would I ever know the secrets of what the Masons hide? I don't think on God's green earth would I. But the higher you have stature and the higher power.
Yeah, it comes into the control and power side of things then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which I think then comes away from, is that the meaning of it though? You know, knowing the meaning of it, it's like anything, isn't it? You know, once you've got that bit of power and status, do you use it for good or bad? Do you use it as a controlling mechanism, not letting other people know, but you know how to use that to influence others?
Because, you know, the Mason side of things, the Masonic side of things, is not as well cloak and dagger now than it used to be when I was a kid.
No.
It's more open, isn't it? It's more.
I think there's two brands of it now, to be fair. I think you've still got the secret side of Freemasonry, and I think you've got the commercial side of Freemasonry.
Yeah.
You know, that's the show side, and that's the real side. You get to see the entertainment side of it, I think.
Yeah, I do. I say, myself and you, we do know a Mason. So it'd be nice to sort of pick that person. I won't mention his name on here, but we'll pick his brains and see what his actually true belief is, what it did.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I do think this 3, the more you watch these videos and the chakra things, I live by the chakras. I absolutely live my life by the chakras, and the pineal gland and things like that. It's very apt, and as a spiritualist, I know when one of them's out. I know when one of them is out. I know one of them is not synced. And that is the weirdest thing. And I wonder if that is right. Perhaps it is, I don't want to say it as something special, because I don't, but maybe a spiritualist person, that the likes of, I only got into it via ghost hunting.
Yeah.
That's the only, I didn't realize what the other turning block was. I just did ghost hunting. And now, 26 years later, for my first ghost experience, I'm now believing a lot more. But in a stranger way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because you're ascending. You're taking that journey of enlightenment sort of thing. The whole thing of what we're trying to explain.
But do you? What are we calling? Awakening. What point are we stopping to be awoke? Is that,
I think once you realise that there's more to it as well, that's the beginning of your journey. Just because it's taken you, say, 40 years to get to that part, that's why they say perhaps life begins at 40, because that's when you're spiritually aware. Like you're something happens that I've got this. I've got my 40 years of life experience, and you've sort of turned into the spiritual side of things. Then things start to make sense, and that's when you start to grow spiritually properly. Around about that, I'll just use that. It just popped in my head. I'll just use that as an example.
I'm just going to ask the same question to everybody in the chat, and answer it, because I know we've got quite a different group of people. We've got people like, I don't know if they're still here, Steve Plumbridge, for example. Okay. Let's be fair. When Steve first started listening to our show, I do believe that he was a lot closed to it, to where he is now. So, the likes of Joe, okay, very open-minded to it, but closed to some things of it. Now, the same as us. Now, are we awakened? Are we awoke? Have we woke up? Are we on the other side of the fence, or are we awakening, or are we still asleep?
Part of me thinks, if you'd asked me that a little while ago, I said, no, I'm awake. I know where my mind's going, but I don't think you're ever truly awake. I think you're always sort of awakening, because you're forever learning new things, and you're forever figuring out new things. I don't think you ever stop learning and maturing the spiritual mind sort of thing, I don't. That's part of the journey that you're always taking. You're forever climbing that ladder. But
I don't know. Joe was going to put that. I could have put that as soon as I said
not woke.
Because I didn't know. Is it awake? I say awake. I should say. Yeah, I don't quite know, because I know that the likes of you and Joe say everyone. We've got a big awakening happening, and people are waking up to everything. But I think that's on a looser term, in my eyes.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's always a spiritual thing, Russ. I think
That's
it's
what
more.
I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I just said. I think I was sort of trying to say is like
They're
that's
more awake about what's going on politically, and
but do you not think that has to be some form of this journey?
yeah, I think so. Waking up to the way you're meant to be living your life and stopping people trying to control you. You're you know, we've done many a shows on it. Governments ain't there to tell you what to do. That's not their job.
Yeah, but
Somewhere along the line, they think that is their job.
But I don't think we're ever going to lose that because they've got that power. I don't. But Jay said, "Look, it's a loose term." I do think it's a loose term. But what would you class yourself as, Joe? I ask you, anyone in the chat. We've got 7, 8 people watching. What are you classing yourself as? And I'm not talking about political side of things. I'm not talking about that side of things at the moment because I do think we have to separate that. But it depends on what subject: creation, evolution, politics, history. Let's call it just history, evolution, the spiritual awakening, maybe, because I do.
But
think
everyone's got different opinions and views on that as well.
But I still think this 33 or this 3, however we look upon it, I think that has an effect on everything from our side of the spectrum looks at. I do believe that something here, the 3, something magical, something gives you a sense of being. Now, the last video we watched links that to the chakras, the higher being, the higher self, okay? Spiritualism, talking maybe to the different energies that lived, okay? But I'm also putting that into the ability with Heidi to connect with extraterrestrials, giving that. I just think it wakes up a different frequency or allows you to experience different frequencies. I think once you realize that, it doesn't matter what your belief system is. Once again, I'm probably putting it too simplistic, but that's how my brain works, simplistically. And I think anyone that believes in something different to what we are told has found the frequency of 3. So, for example, if you believe in extraterrestrials, if you believe in ghosts, if you believe in flat earth, if you believe in the pyramids are a load of crock of shit, if you believe that we didn't walk on the moon, I'm putting you in a bracket of the awakening of 3, going by them videos. Now, if you believe in non-ghost, or you don't believe in aliens, you believe everything you're told on TV, then I don't think you're experienced the 3 number and able to access different things or be able to see different ways that things happen. Now, we can overcook this as people, and I think we do half the time. I think we go too much sometimes. We look at the telly and think everything is a conspiracy because we can't rein it in sometimes. Not to say it isn't, but you've only got to put, for example, today, so I put on the news, and as all I see is two-tier Kia talking to the president. I'm just thinking, oh my God, there's another conspiracy coming. Just turn it off because I don't know where my brain's going. I didn't want to know what he wanted to say. Do you know that? I turned it off before he opened his trap because I didn't want my brain to wander at that moment. So I do believe that we in the group chat now and these people, I don't think are on the fence or on the other side of the fence with a non-3. I think we all have the power of 3 within it. I'm more awake than the majority, but we are learning every day. That's Joe. Some awake, look outside the box. Some awake, listen to other people's opinion and tries to tease out the truth. It's a way of putting it.
Yeah. Unless their opinion's flat earth, then you shut them down dead, Joe.
Yeah, that's it.
Not prepared to learn there, are you?
Yeah. Good one. That got you, Joe. No. Yeah. But no, I do get it. I do feel that there is more to that than we can ever imagine to think at this moment.
Well, I'll just quickly, when you said someone told you to look up 3, the magic number, I just got the lyrics up.
Right.
So I just want to read out the quick first bit that come up. So obviously, 3 is a magic number. Somewhere in ancient mystic trinity, you get 3 as a magic number. The past, the present, and the future. The faith and the hope and the charity. The heart and the brain and the body give you 3 as a magic number. It takes 3 legs to make a tripod or to make a table stand. It takes 3 wheels to make a vehicle called a tricycle. Every triangle has 3 corners. Every triangle has 3 sides. No more, no less. You don't have to guess. When it's 3, you can see it's a magic number. Just pyramid, triangle, 3.
Yes. Yes. Duh. Absolutely.
But I thought that, the past, present, and future, faith, hope, charity, I don't know. It does. That's only one part of the thing I've got up, so I'll have to look at the whole of the lyrics just to.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't play the song because we'll get turned off because we're on YouTube.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I listened to Flat Earth, teased out. We won't say that bit. Great text, Paul. But Heidi's off. Good night, Heidi. Stay safe,
Heidi.
and see you hopefully next week. But yeah, I say, as all I heard was when that come up and that something about Tesla, and he said 3. So it said in my ear, 3 is the magic number. Listen to them lyrics. And whoever that was, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you who spoke in my ear. I heard it as clear as day. So that obviously has some meaning somewhere along the line. It definitely does. And I think that's really, I think it really is an enlightening number. I really do. And we've had discussions on here, it also has a very vague derogatory term as well, because, it is a detrimental to the Holy Trinity. The 666 is the reverse of 333. So that just to me says yin and yang. 333 is an angel number, an angelic number. So we put that in good category. Against 666 is bad category. So there's a balance here.
But I still, I know I've said it before, but I always see 333. Always, everywhere I go.
It's synchronicity, isn't it? It's once again, Joe talks a lot about synchronicity. loads of times Joe texts me and it's synchronicity. The majority of the time, Joe will text me, the first message will start on a synchronized number. You know, it's really weird, you know, 4:44 or 5:55 or 12:12 and he does it quite a lot, you know, and I don't put that down, you know, yeah, sometimes it can be sort of coincidence, but you've also got to think, you know, there's no way Joey's sitting there waiting for a number to be synchronized. You know, he has got a lot of time on his hands. But yeah, I do think this is a God number. But how I fit a God number is I just think it is quite simplistically the ability to see the truth, to see what is the actual truth and use that number to get to the truth. I think that's how I feel I want to say that. I feel that I need to say that because we know we're never going to find the truth in this lifetime. Do you know, because I think we are most of the time flogged dead horses throughout of the time that we see on telly. And, you know, people hate me saying it, but you just look at, you know, the so-called, you know, things that was promised from Mr. Donald Trump that hasn't come to fruition just yet. You know, the JFK files. It's now being discussed what files can be released. Well, we was told they're all going to be released. No, that's not the truth. Only
because some people that were involved are still alive.
So they're hiding it at the moment. So once again, it was never going to be allowed to come out. When we're going to get it, we're going to get the same crap that the unclassified UFO files gave us. They will give you what you want.
But they're never going to give you the whole complete truth.
And that, you know, and he hasn't got that power, unfortunately. People think he has, but he hasn't. You know, I just find it very strange. That's all. So, and I think they're all in cahoots together. I do think they're all in massive cahoots together. I think it's even more sus now than it's ever been. Do you know what I mean? And I just, for me, it just, over the last couple of days, it's just, to me, it said, I now know who was behind the Ukraine war. That's as simple as it gets. Oh. And it was the US all over. The hidden US.
I was saying that from the beginning, mate, you know. It makes me laugh, the scrounge for the minerals now.
But that's just
the beginning.
That's all it's over.
Of course it is. Starmer, I'll give you 500 billion over the next 100 years. Yeah, okay. What you get out of that? Nothing. Of course not, mate.
Yeah. And that's it. And that's what says to me is that this was nothing to do with anything that we was told. And it was all to do with the US, not to do with the US people, because that's wrong. And it's nothing to do with the US people, but it's to do with them hidden so-called people that run the show. And once again, Mr. Trump is just a puppet master in all that.
But they're all just as bad. The EU's trying to get in the mix, the French, the English, the Americans, everyone. All these countries going over, what we'll do this, but we'll have that percentage of minerals. We'll have that percentage of minerals.
What do you want? Come on. You know, it's just funny. It's just funny. And that's what I'm saying, you know. And that's why I think the 3 number there just awoken me to that. Do you know what I mean? The more I see it, I look at things so bluntly, it's like, oh, get over it. Get over it. I can't even watch that anymore because it just reiterates what I think.
Hmm.
You know, and there'll be no change. There'll be no change from anything. There will. There's been no signs of any change of anything. I do hope that what Joe says over time, that something big happens, but what that is, I don't know. What that can do, I don't know.
Mm.
So, but the three, it's always the majority that is right. The majority is always wrong. I'm beginning to see Trump is being stifled. Is that stifled? Am I saying that wrong?
Yeah.
He was always going to be stifled, Joe. That's just how I see it. I just see it as, you know, I just think that's how it goes. I just think that's politics. I just think that's how the deep state work. And I don't think they will just like I've said to Paul many times and to the viewers, they will put who they want in charge. They happened to want Trump in charge.
Yeah, but it makes me laugh the way everyone, you know, Starmer and that, like, they're all, oh, Trump this, Trump that, and look at them, they're all kissing his arse now, aren't they? And
yeah, they've got to, haven't they? They've got to, because people see the other side of it, don't they? People see the other side of it. You know, everyone wants what the Americans are getting. This bloke who thinks, yeah, we want, you know, everything right for America, la 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 la. So everyone wants that. Everyone wants to be proud, be proud. But I think the three number, the God number of three, gives the people to see what is happening. I think they can see that. You know, Joe said, I'm beginning to see he's being stifled. And I think that is that energy that flows through you, Joe, rather than seeing it with our eyes and our actual visualization. I think that's that energy that runs through us being given that God number, that God energy. Let's call it God energy, whatever you want to call it, Jesus Christ energy, whatever you're calling it, it runs through us, that Christolus or whatever it is. I think it gives you that ability to see what they are seeing. And is that what they're trying to stifle? Is that what they're trying to stifle? People like us, you know, and things like that. You know, all these chemtrails, is that a stifling agent for that fluid that's in our brains? And that, you know, potentially, all these vaccinations, potentially to stop that fluid running properly and giving us the ability to sense. Yeah. You know, maybe.
It's the same as fluoride in the water, isn't it? Things like that.
Yeah.
You know, we said it before, you know, that it was the Nazis the first ones to use that in the concentration camps because it kept all the prisoners dumbed down.
Yeah.
Stopped them from trying to escape.
And maybe that is what all these things are doing to stop, you know, once again, it goes back to mass control. They can't have all these people using this free number. And I know it sounds stupid, but 3 is free. It's free energy. It's free. We're not paying for what's inside us. You know, we can't pay. It's free to use, but 3 as the magic number, which is weird in a way, isn't it?
Yeah.
So very odd, very, very odd. But we're coming towards the end of the show. If anyone in the chat want to ask any questions, I better check my phone to see if I've got any questions. I haven't got any questions. Nope, I seem to be okay. Got a lot of text messages, but no questions. Yeah, we've come towards the end of the show. So how do you feel after that, Paul? Do you feel enlightened?
I feel like me point finally got across from that mumbling, stumbling, fumbling bit at the beginning of the show. But I'm glad we waited to listen to the second video, to be fair, because it did give us a chance to try and work it out beforehand, and then we was sort of prepared, and you was nearly getting there with the way you was trying to explain it before that second video come out, and it just sort of clicked a bit, didn't it?
Yeah.
And I don't think we would have had the same reaction if we played that one first. Three Stooges, it'll be 3 words.
Yeah. Speak no evil, hear no evil, hear no evil. That's
Yeah.
3. Yeah, the Three Stooges. But then, yeah, perhaps it is all like, you know, maybe it is all little digs at the so-called deep state. You know, maybe it is the little digs that we don't see and just put like that. 3 little stooges, you know, 3 little pigs, 3 wise men. 3 wise men. It was 3 wise men who went to see Jesus as well, wasn't it?
It was.
Yes. Yeah. 3 men and a little baby. Yeah. Third time lucky. Yeah, it's all there. I know it sounds really stupid, but the more you look at it, the more that resonates with what we are talking about. It really does. The 3 wise men, they're there within the biblical term, the 3 wise men. They give a gift. It was frankincense, what was it, golden myrrh, was it?
Yeah.
But what was the gift? What was the gift to that person, that baby? Was it that fluid that them combined produced? I know it's all fictitious and it all sounds crap to people, but maybe the gift was that whatever it was, fluid. Potentially, maybe that was the gift. Who knows? We have iron in our blood, don't we? We have metal in our blood.
Yeah.
Taste of iron.
So frankincense is a fragrance thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's myrrh?
I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue. I wear gold, but that's about it. Third time lucky is worldwide. Every country says that. The third time lucky saying. Night, boys. Night, Joe. Take care, lady. Hopefully see you again next week. And we have come towards the end of the show. Maybe your homework for this, Paul, for this week, to find out what myrrh is.
There you go. Yeah.
So I just want to say a big thank you to everybody that has joined us over on Pulse Talk Radio tonight. Thank you for listening. Stay safe and take care.
No.
Thank you for everybody that has joined us over on Facebook, YouTube, and Pulse Talk. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you for all your comments, guys. Really, really appreciate it. Joe, Heidi, everybody that comments, Steve, and everybody in the chat, Jane, everybody that was there tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jackie, I know, was there as well. So a big shout out to them. Thank you for my lovely Nan to send out a congratulations to Paul because she understood you. So myrrh is a fragrant resin. Could it be possibly the scent of BO that oozes from you? Right. Take care, everybody. Stay safe, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye-bye.